I've been running it every single day, running my well pump, and then talk about a bit of the controversies. Inside we've got our big old positive and negative battery cables, a mounting bracket. We've got some mounting anchors and probably...
That's a wire.
In this video, we're installing the WattCycle 314-hour wall mount battery. It's brand spanking new, and we're pairing it with a FlexBOSS 18, and we are running the well pump. If you guys haven't seen a lot of the problems we've had with the well pump in the past, this definitely should take care of it. Yeah, you can if you want.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
At this point, I have the battery in place. I've got the casters all wheeled up. These things are super cool. They have wheels that have a built-in screw device that allows you to drop down and basically set them exactly where you need and bring the wheels off of the ground. It is pretty awesome. And I've anchored it to the wall with these brackets here. There is one that can go on the back that allows you to get it to hook on, but I did not choose to go with that. These are going to hold it for sure. It's not going anywhere. Next thing we need to do is get it wired into the FlexBOSS. I have these guys right here because we were using them for another battery. They're going to have to come off. Currently, the FlexBOSS is basically just taking the grid power and looping it through. And it's just going from there. It's got a warning because there's no battery connected. The battery comes with these beefy, looks like 70 millimeter, what it says. I don't know, I'm guessing this is somewhere maybe 2 watt, and it's got the quick connects on it. Now, the one downside is while I use the quick connects to connect to the battery, I will have to cut these lugs off. I got them reconnected here. And here on this side, we've got our quick connections. We've got 4 of them, which is great. And we've got our main breaker, and then we've got our power to turn on and off the BMS. So I'm going to come over here to this one and get it in there. I was expecting it to snap. Then unfortunately, just due to the length of the cable, I've got to kind of just get over here, and nah, I don't love that. I decided to run it to the farthest one because I really don't want it running in front of it, and that's super not ideal, but it's gonna do for now. Before we move on, let's go ahead and talk about what's on the side. We've got our reset button. We've got our address button, so we can go over here and change this. It's set to 1 right now. Then we've got our dry contacts, and then we've got RS-485. We've got CAN RS-232, and then RS-485-1 and RS-485-2. I guess these are for parallels. This is for communication to the inverters. Oh, and then obviously we've got our 4 quick connects here, and together they will all put out 300 amps maximum with 150 amps of continuous. So right now the FlexBOSS is turned off. The grid is turned off to the FlexBOSS. And let's go ahead and turn on the battery over here. So let's come to this side. We're going to turn on the breaker. Okay. And then we're going to press the BMS button to turn it on. See our nice color display turns on, which is pretty cool. And a sweet little SOC bar. I really like that a lot. So everything looks good so far. We can look at our pack and check out that our SOC is at 59%. Let's zoom in on this. 59%. We can see our voltage, our max voltage, our temperatures. All of this, it's in Celsius. I'd like to try to figure out how to change that, but I'm sure we can. Oh, and actually, you know what? Check this out. Pack address 1. If we had more, I bet we could actually cycle through and check them out from right here. Equalizing switch. This is pretty cool. It does have an active balancing on this, which is great. So that's cool. The charge is on, the discharge is on. We can look at each individual cell, and we We got our alarms, chart. I'm really interested in seeing this when the well pump kicks on. So that's pretty cool. We can turn the chart off if we don't want it. And our settings, language, English. Now let's go ahead and turn this guy back on because I want to see this pump run. I'm going to turn on the battery. We should see this turn on. Heard a click, warning. Okay. So also I need to plug in the comms, which I don't think are going to work immediately. And we're going to go into CAN on this side, I think. All right, so now let's go ahead and turn on the AC. So to do that, I need to go down here, open this up, and I need to turn off the grid that's coming in this way. Okay, I'm also going to turn it off here. And yes, I do have an interlock kit so that I don't have to, or so that this is possible to do kind of safely. All right, so now we got that turned on. Actually, the warning's already gone away. I wonder if it's already communicating. That would be sweet. So, actually, you know what? I just remembered. I've got it in lead acid mode. Okay. Do not want to turn that on. Now we're going to turn this one on. Okay. Now this is powering. All of this is being powered by this guy now. Ah, well pump just kicked on. I wasn't planning on it, but I was just pressing start to see if it would handle it, and well, it turns out it is. So let's look here at the chart. Right now it's showing negative 137 amps, which is under its max for sure. So that's good. You can hear the FlexBOSS kicked on just a little bit. You can kind of hear these fans. They're not that loud though, man. Compared to the 6000 XPs and all others, like this is super quiet. But it's being taxed decently. Let's jump over here and look at this. And we see we're pulling 6,400 watts. 6,700 watts coming from battery. It's doing great. Let's see the chart again. I guess this top line, this black one is the SOC. And then the next one down is voltage. Yellow one is the amperage. I've been running it every single day, running my well pump, and I've been putting some pretty heavy loads on it. So I'm going to show you the graph here, show you kind of what it's been doing, and then talk about a bit of the controversies that have been going around. So first off, here's the graph right now. You'll notice we've got a couple different things going on. Right here, these are the normal spikes from the well pump kicking on. And this is sitting just about 0. And then we've got a much larger drop here. And then about half of what the well pump draws as a constant we've got right here. And that's that almost 40 amps. And that 40 amps is coming from charging this EV right here, the Innovator. And I've got it plugged in to this 50 amp RV outlet. It kind of goes in right here and then comes out the other side into the well house and goes up in here. I've got it on this breaker right here. So then we've got another spike there, and that's where the well pump comes on and the Innovator is charging. And that brings us down here to like 160 amps or something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it on and we'll see what it does. A little bit of pressure. Okay, the well pump just kicked on. The amperage, we're at 173 amps. And then over here on this side, you'll start to slowly see that graph kick on down. So far, there have been no errors, there have been no problems. It's been doing exactly what it's supposed to do this entire time. I've also been charging it every night from the grid, and then I've also been charging it from solar. All right, it's been running a while. It's super noisy in here because this well, basically now we're to the point where the well is pushing air down and it's getting into the pipes. So until it equalizes out, it's going to be super noisy. But we're still running at 178 amps, which is over its continuous. It says the normal running amperage is 150 amps, and we've been running at 178. The cables they're warmer than ambient, but they're not bad at all. I'm going to turn off the pump. The wires right there are at 86 degrees, 87 degrees. So not bad at all. That's Fahrenheit. 90 degrees Fahrenheit over here. The connections, the hottest I'm seeing is 94 degrees right on the tip over here. Everything else seems to be just fine. Let's look over here on this side. 99 degrees on this. So it's important to note that it is currently 91 degrees outside, and we're outside with no air movement. Still cruising along at 172 amps of discharge. We're at 79% now. So let's talk about what I like, what I dislike, and the problem circulating based off of Will's findings. So what I like the vibes. I don't know if that makes sense to half of you guys. You know, I know most of my audience is a bit older than me, and but I like the overall feel. I like the polish, I guess. This light bar here, the SOC light bar, is pretty cool. Kind of got that Knight Rider vibe to it, but it would be even cooler if it was more granular. Right now it's like this, like there's a light here and a light here and here and whatever it is, and so it doesn't go vroom, vroom, you know, it kind of just goes bunk. I like just the quality, the branding. I'm a marketing guy, so I like the fact that this is printed on like a linen paper. It feels so nice. Everything about it feels like quality. I love the feet. These guys, and I know they've started putting them on. Oh, looks like the well pump kicked off. We're back to 40 amps rather. I know they've started putting these on a lot of other batteries. This little touch here makes a huge difference. And being able to roll it in and then simply lift it or just drop it down is kind of a cool thing. Wall mount is, I know that's what we call these, call them wall mounted batteries. I think wall adjacent or something else needs to be the name, because you don't hang them on the wall. It's way too heavy. But as you saw, one person, at least on somewhat level ground, as long as it's a hard surface, can roll this thing in by themselves and get it in place. I love that. You know, some of the other batteries you have to actually like muscle in.
So that's a win for this. Now, I had to put something on the ground because I've got the dirt in here, but that's all right. Another thing I dislike, these connections over on the side. They, first off, they're non-standard, so at least, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I have not done my research to try to find them. I've heard other guys talk about how they're hard to find. It's not the Dexton connector that I've seen readily available. So it's a different style. I don't know why they had to go with something different. But there's no cap on it. And out here, I'm going to tilt up here. Oops. Let's see. Hold on. Bear with me while I do this. Woof. All right. You see that right there? That line, that's a mud dauber. It is building a tube, building a nest. And that nest, they love to put those things everywhere, anywhere they can go. And so it will not be long before these holes are plugged with some sort of bug out here in East Texas. So that's a downside. I don't like the connections over here. Now this is not an outdoor battery. It's an indoor battery. The other thing is these the communication ports and stuff over here, they just feel a little bit undone. But that's okay. That's all right. I do like the big breaker on the side. I like the BMS switch. I like the markings and the coloring. All of that is great. So that's good stuff. The screen, great. The graph, I love the graph. What I would really like for the graph to do is show me what the graph looks like when it's not on screen. Because the moment I go out of it, it stops printing. I have to go back into it. I say graph, chart is what it's called. I have to go back into the chart to actually see it. But I would love to see a history of what's happened over the last 24 hours. That would be cool. The phone app, beautiful. Man, I'm telling you what, I'm talking about the vibes. Like, the phone app is gorgeous. Okay, I like that. Dislike, no internal heater. It's marketed for farms and off-grid and other, like homestead-y. They don't use the word homestead in their marketing materials, but they use farm and off-grid. And I am going to have to figure out what I'm going to do during the winter, because this is not a insulated space. So I'm going to have to put some sort of a heater over here to try to keep it. It will operate down at 32 degrees, down to 32 degrees. Let me pull up the specs exactly so I can tell you. Recommended charging temperature is 32 degrees to 131 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, it has low temp protection. Okay, so below 32 degrees, it's going to kick off and stop charging and discharging, I believe. I do have the orange communication cable going to this LuxPower FlexBOSS 18, but it is not communicating. It's still an open loop. It's I've got this set to the lithium, just generic, and it's working great. I don't need it to work any different than that, but it would be nice to have it closed loop. So that could be a firmware update that needs to be done on the battery side. It could be something that needs to be done on the FlexBOSS side. I don't know, but last time I called Signature Solar, they said that they didn't know, or they just had been telling people just to put it in the lithium setting, which I'd already done. and then WattCycle didn't have any recommendations other than to give me the manual specs as to what you should have your charge and float, etc. voltages set to. All right. I like that you don't have to create an account in order to use the app. I dislike that the app claims to, at least on the iOS, it does not seem very privacy friendly. So that could just be if you are filling out or creating an account. I just go in as guest because I don't like doing that kind of stuff. It just does what it says it does. So far, I haven't run into any issues. So the giant elephant in the room. Yesterday, day before, a couple days back, and I'm kind of glad that I waited to record this last part of the deal just so I could address this. Will Prowse put out a video showing that on the smaller batteries, he would receive a battery, tear it down, and it would look awesome. He would recommend it, people would buy it, and many people reported, or some people reported, that the batteries that they received did not look on the inside like the battery he received. So he went and bought a battery, and it did not look on the inside like the one that he received. I have not tore this down. I don't plan to. That's not really my style here on this channel. Go check out Gavin Stone's breakdown. He did a great job tearing into it and showing what it looks like inside. He's much more knowledgeable. Gavin's a great dude, and I think he did a good job on the teardown. Just not something that I want to start doing on all of my channels or on my reviews. So I suspect, because I'm pretty sure I was the first to receive one, they sent this out a long time ago, then had a death in the family, and I've been dealing with all sorts of health issues myself, and just haven't been able to get this video published, which I'm glad, because now I get to address this part. The cost of the battery has gone up from the time they sent it out to me to the time that I'm posting this now. I believe it's sitting at like $2,500. I do have a link and a discount that I'll put in the description below, or QR code if you're interested, if you're sold out on buying this battery. I would say from right now, from what I know, what I have, it is a solid budget battery with some really great features. There is a hesitation that, just based on what Will has been showing in his videos, and I have no reason to not trust him, there is a reason to believe that it's possible that if you buy one of these, you're not going to get whatever's inside mine or whatever's inside Gavin's. That is not a guarantee. That is not even me saying that that would happen. But it has happened, allegedly, based off of what Will's saying, in some of the smaller batteries. Would I, if I had an indoor like garage and I needed some of these, oh, active balancing, I like that. That's a nice feature. Sorry. Would I purchase one of these instead of, the Power Pro or the EG4 or some of these other brands? I would consider it, honestly. Like, I have a hard time saying I'm only like I don't want to be brand loyalist. I want to go with what's you know, what's best. But if I did buy one of these, based on just the vibes and the fact that it's been performing well for me here, if I received one, the first thing that I would do, if I purchased one, the first thing I would do is open the back up and look at it to make sure it matched Gavin's breakdown video. Probably going to void your warranty. But I think there's a strong case to be made that if you receive something that doesn't match what the other ones looked like, then there's probably bigger issues than your voided warranty. WattCycle's been great to me so far. Is that because I'm a content creator, or is that because they're a great company to deal with? I don't know. This is my first time to use them. I don't have any affiliation other than they sent this out to me for the review. They've given me a code to put in, or a link, which I think has, I think the link automatically has a discount. I really don't know how that works. I'll put whatever it is down below. That's all I got. I don't know what else to tell you guys. 15 minutes of me rambling here. But I want to be honest about what's happening right now, and if y'all have any insight, let me know. If something changes with this battery, it stops working, I'll let you know. If it had a heater inside of it, I would say it is a no-brainer buy for off-grid guys. But I'd make sure what's inside of it looks like what's inside the others. That's all I got. If you're interested in the full build, right here I'll put the link to this FlexBOSS 18 and the installation of that. And then this one right here, YouTube thinks, where is it? Right there, YouTube thinks it's best for you. I'm Eric, encouraging you to live faithfully and prepare thoroughly for good times or bad. See you on the next one.